Cap everything from
You are your own first responder. Always be prepared, stay safe, stay armed. Always be aware, get training and practice. No room for mistakes. One wrong move is all it takes. So hold on to America's favorite black rifle. It could be the thing that ensures your survival. It's an AR-15 show, it's ready to rock. It's your weekly dose of awesome gun talk. Awesome gun talk.
Welcome, the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first rifle or you've been building them for years. There's something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley. I am joined tonight by the director of propaganda, Joe.
howdy.
How is everybody doing out there? And I hope you all are doing well, staying warm, and I hope you're here to have a good time. I know that we missed last week, and for that, I apologize. But, Joe, what have you been up to since we spoke last?
Not a whole lot. Got a toy in today. We can talk about that later. The wife for my birthday got me a gift card to a place that I need to buy parts from. So unfortunately, they don't have the one major part that I need. So that's going to be a minute. But yeah, other than just trying to survive the cold last week and shooting in the basement, haven't really been up to a whole lot. Hopefully this weekend it'll get nice and not muddy. But
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping to get a little bit more range time as well. Yes, I am back. I am back from the SHOT Show 2026. I did not get stabbed, even though somebody else there did. And it was definitely it was a good show. Always a good time hanging out with a lot of good people. For any of our listeners out there, the handful of you who stopped me, it was really good to meet a lot of you guys. And anytime you see us out and about at any of these events, please stop us, say hi. Make sure that you know, like, hey, we listen to you. Because otherwise, we just wander about and do our own thing. So if you don't stop and be like, hey, you guys at the AR-15 podcast, like, please come up to us and talk to us. We actually do enjoy talking to you.
we do when we get out. Even if it's not at a show, if by chance you see us anywhere, probably easier to spot us at a show because we're usually wearing something podcast related. But
I'm generally easy to spot at these shows.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm, like 6'4", wearing a cowboy hat and a Hawaiian shirt generally. And we have Bob from Gideon Optics who is here, and he says, I don't enjoy talking to any of you except for Dooley. Bob had the unfortunate experience of having the world's worst tour guide in Vegas to go wandering about the south end of the strip and go on a tour of MGM properties. So that was one. It was good to hang out with everybody there, and always good to see everybody and all of our friends. And that was a ton of fun.
What was the overwhelming theme that you saw at SHOT?
So a lot of people kind of went, yeah. Bob says if you're ever in Vegas, definitely pay Dooley for the guided tour. You'll learn things you did not realize you wanted to learn. But the overwhelming thing, it was definitely cans. Everybody had cans. Everything was threaded. It was weird because there wasn't a ton of like crazy new innovative things. There was new stuff that was coming out. There was, things that had kind of been redesigned. But it was very, I'm not going to say lackluster, but it was a low, like the overall mood of the show wasn't a ton of excitement. It was very low key, and attendance seemed to be down this year, which is a net positive in my opinion because there wasn't as many people wandering about.
I can understand that.
And as we went through, I know like I went over and spent some time in the PSA booth and saw a bunch of their stuff that was you know, I'm not going to call it vaporware, but on their prototype stage of stuff they've been talking about for a couple of years. So they haven't even sent their 2011 out yet, and they already have an upgraded version of the 2011. And then they'll also have their new, not Jackal, their AXR rifle. I know I did a short on it that we filmed with them. That's a short stroke piston rifle that is Jackal adjacent, but it uses a proprietary lower receiver. They did lengthen the receivers out to make them work, and it's going to be interesting because it is a departure from the traditional Jackal, because Jackal is a long stroke piston system, and they are switching to a short stroke piston system. So I will be interested to see how that impulse changes as the gun comes into fruition. And I am also hoping that they follow through with a bunch of their stuff. I saw a lot of improvements on old products that were not like, earth-shattering changes, but were, this is a technical, this is a definite upgrade. And a ton of cans. Like all the cans. Everybody's Lyman Reloading Products released a line of silencers.
Somebody really? Oh, didn't the boys at High Point? Wasn't that their debut?
Have theirs out. Yep, High Point has their own cans out, and then they've had the inland cans for a while, but they have their own. I know that High Point actually has some stuff coming out that's going to be pretty neat. Just with what they're going to be doing, and there was a handful of other. I should email some pictures to myself so I can share on screen. But there were a couple suppressor companies that were doing stuff that is new and interesting. And I keep saying like, oh, this is new and interesting, but it's because it actually is kind of interesting and new.
Well, and I think that's what I say. I think that's what companies at this point are going to have to do is anybody can make a can. It's just like, we've said it about the High Point. Anybody should be able to build a AR that runs. It's what tolerances you want to bring it down to, and how cheap are you willing to go for a higher tolerance, higher production valued firearm or suppressor. Because, man, especially now that you can just make them in your basement and register them without having to pay that stamp, I mean, you're going to have to do something to set yourself apart.
So the Ambient Arms cans were actually really cool. So they kind of made a splash, mainly because of what they did they did a new design type essentially. And theirs was, it's almost a standard K baffle, but they use the Venturi effect on the outside to cool the can down and move air around inside the shield. So as I was, shooting this, it definitely changed up how things went through, because I shot it a couple hours after range day had started, and then I dumped like 8 rounds through one, and they hit it with the temp gun, and it was 161 degrees at the mount. So that's still well within being able to grab and twist. Like, you can still touch that with your hand. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's not going to scald your hand.
It's not gonna burn. It's not gonna leave a scar or a burn mark if it touches bare skin.
Yeah. And there's another company that is called Wraith silencers, and they also were very neat, and I will send this through here in just a second. But the cool thing about them is they had changed up some of the things on. They used a very different style of cans to go through with the baffles. It's a user configurable, and as I pull it up here, as I hopefully get everything to come through, but there's, with the user configurability they had, allowed you to make the can kind of how you wanted to. You could change the caliber of it, and it had like notches on the outside, and the baffles were actually ported or vented to allow the gas to escape going through, and then they had vanes on them, kind of like a jet engine. So let me see if I can actually just pick. I have a bold idea. I could just pull up the silencers, or the website.
Yeah, that'd work.
Right? Like, who would think about that? So, well, I furiously Googled to pull everything up. And this is super interesting to everybody listening on audio that's going.
I was just gonna say, while you're doing that, I was gonna start talking to fill the void. But remember, Garth's got that hat promotion thing going on, where if you email us about wanting to purchase a hat, you get your name in the drawing for the High Point rifle, High Point AR. So I don't know the exact number of people that have emailed us at this point. I know there's a few.
Yeah, I know that I've been working with Garth on going through some of those things. And
so just a reminder for those that are listening awkwardly or watching awkwardly at this point, we do have that going on. We will be drawing later in the show for the A free hat. Off the comments from our last show on that Facebook post for Wraithworks, we had, I think, 5 people.
Yes.
So we'll be doing
this is a different Wraith. This is not Wraith Metal, or this is not the same Wraithworks. This is Wraith Metalworks that I'm talking about. These cans are from. And now I have so I know that we have a couple of them that emailed, not heard back. I will say that Garth has been in and out this week, but I have been flagging those. So they will be popping up, and you will be hearing from somebody soon on that. So, Joe, as I pull this up here, you can see what this is with the modular suppression system. Can you kind of describe how these look? Like, these are all individual baffles that have fins and jets. It's almost like a jet engine as they go through, and you can see it directs things. Does that make sense as I describe that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of look like little funnels with some.
Yeah, I will see, because they have so it has, everything is set and it's kind of timed inside the can, with grooves that are set in, so you have to place them in certain directions. But it has different fins and things on the different K baffles that go in there to disrupt the flow of gases to do different things. And they claim that you can even change the caliber.
Really?
And like, I know that when we go in here, you can see they had some 3D printed variants that kind of show the differences on how they're set up differently as it goes through for changing how that gas flows through. This is a super neat take on how to make these user configurable in science on your own, which I think is super neat because I am a nerd. But that was one of those things that I was like, okay, this is super cool. And
yeah, like I said earlier, you've got to at this point start looking for different ways to either make them lighter, make them less expensive, or quieter based on something different. So
yeah, and you're seeing some stuff come out that is lower back pressure, but not like ultra or not flow through like the Hux works. Because unfortunately, a lot of the flow through cans do not have good or as good of sound mitigation. You'll find some that have better, some that have worse. It's the high back pressure cans generally speaking have a better sound suppression and tone just because of the size. And then volume is always a factor. So I prefer a large or full size can to a K can personally, but that's just because I'm old and deaf and have terrible tinnitus. So
my wife told me to mute my tinnitus earlier or last week or a week or two ago. I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? She's like, you hear it? Yeah, I always hear that ringing. But
that's an option?
That's what I said. No, she was telling me to mute something else, but I don't remember what it was. And I was like, did you just tell me to mute my tinnitus? I wish.
Yeah.
But another cool thing, you did a live feeds or from some different booths, and the one that you played with was one of these that I actually have. Showed up today after about almost a year of us nagging on Bob to get one.
Yep.
So
the Mediator XL. I had Mediator show up today, but was not Mediator XL. I had Mediator 2 show up today, which is still very cool.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I like it's decent. I mean, it feels sturdy. It's clear, definitely clear. I don't have that blue tinge that my Huey has. It is not holographic, which does mean the dot with my astigmatism is dumb. But if I throw this on the race gun or a Steel Challenge 22, I'm not really worried about having a perfect dot because you're just putting it in the middle of the steel, middle of the target, and pulling the trigger. It's more, the exact look of the dot has nothing to do. It's not like I'm trying to shoot 1-inch, sub MOA groups at 600 meters with a dot that's all over the place. So I'm looking forward to getting it on a firearm and hopefully shooting it this weekend, and we'll get back to you on those sort of things. And same with those Mediator 2s. We've got a couple planned. We'll get them mounted up on some things and get back to you guys on how we feel about them. I know my Gideon on my CZ is awesome. So I don't know why these would be any different. Do you want to talk about what you saw it?
I everyday carry Gideon.
But I mean, there's other companies that are getting stuff made in the same place as them that claim to be pretty big. So
yeah, but no, I've been incredibly impressed with all their optics I have, and I've run quite a few of them now. I've actually been making the switch on a lot. See, I think I have an Omega, a Storm, Mediator 2, and the Valor Mini. And then I should have Mediator XL showing up shortly as well.
It was very tempting when they had a pre-sale that we were told they don't do that kind of stuff, but they had them listed, and I was like, ooh. I had two in my cart for the longest time, and I'm like, I'm gonna see how I like one first, and then I'm sure I will be getting around to ordering a second one. At this point, I don't know what there could be that I'm not gonna like about it or love about it. Yeah.
Yeah, could you guys all see that when Joe was showing it off there? I know the chat seems to have died off a little bit, but
yeah, it's a nice. It's definitely got a big enough window. Like you were saying, Nick, they are shake wakes, so that's handy.
Yeah, I think it's a 28 by 32 millimeter reticle.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with that.
Right on. That's good. You know, there were some other neat things. There's companies I didn't think would be having stuff that was new and innovative that they debuted at this shot. And there was one that actually started doing a whole line of knives.
Knives?
And what?
Knives?
Yeah, knives. And you know, that was actually kind of neat to see because they were sharp. And somebody that we know that has been on the show before managed to cut himself with one of them as they pulled it out of the case to show him. And yeah, that was VZ grips. The unique features of VZ grips is they're machined from a solid block of G10, and G10 is great because it's durable. It doesn't get slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures. From mild to extreme as well, color options are available. Shorty versions are also there. 1911 grips with standard customizability. Standard slim palm tails, thumb notches, safety kits, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available. There's one coupon code that is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips, and that code is AR-15 POD 15. But yes, no. Tyler managed to cut himself with a knife from VZ. Just nicked himself a little bit, but they were sharp. And as we went through there, I also managed to make a comment about their beautiful holsters for their push daggers, for their G10 push daggers, because they have just a regular old folding knife. And as they had that, they're those are actually made by Clucker Tactical, and if you're in need of reliable custom Kydex holster, Clucker Tactical is your one-stop shop. Using premium USA source material, Clucker Tactical will build your holster in a variety of styles and color options, as well as light and laser options. Whether you're in law enforcement, a competitive shooter, or an everyday gun enthusiast, trust that Clucker Tactical provide every firearm owner has access to top-tier personalized holsters, as well as quality custom products you can't find anywhere else. Use code AR15 podcast for 10% off at cluckertactical.com. Yes, and it was even a twofer because two of our sponsors were in the same booth. And I even made a comment about it and was talking to the guy. And he's like, yeah, trying to remember who did that. And I went, oh, that's Clucker Tactical, because if you're in need of... I did the ad read speech to the guys in VZ, and they were not prepared for it. Because I segued into the ad read in their booth. And that was funny to me.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it sounds like you had a good time down there.
Oh yeah, we had a great time.
Hopefully next year we can go as a group.
Yes, I highly recommend it. If everyone should go once, like a minimum of once, just to experience it, and then come back with the plague. Because that
you get sick or not?
What's that?
I was going to ask you that earlier. Somebody was talking about it. I was going to ask if you came down with anything.
So I went there and I came back, and I felt fine all the way through, and then like I landed in Denver and started to get home, and all of a sudden my nose started running. And like I had like a sneezy, snotty, runny nose sinus stuff when I left. I was fine the whole time in Vegas, and then as soon as I started to come home, it started to happen again. I was like, I don't know what this crap is, but I am not meant to be a child of the desert.
Yeah, that dry air will mess stuff up. I don't.
Oh, just putting chapstick on constantly down there, and it's like I am still running out of stuff. But no, it's SHOT Show. It is really hard for me to describe the scope of how large that show actually is in area.
How much do you think you saw?
How much do I think I saw?
Like of the actual show, how much of it did you actually get to?
So I know that on average, or every day, I was walking about 17 miles a day. Was what my watch said I was walking. So I know there's booths I didn't stop at.
Yeah.
Just because like I didn't feel the need to stop in the Dillon Precision Reloading booth. It's not that I don't love their products, I do, but I didn't stop them. I didn't talk to Black Hills Ammo. So I've talked to them every year. So there's booths that I didn't stop at, but I probably saw, I'm going to say, like actually looked at with intent about 65 to 70% of the show.
That's pretty good.
And I know I missed stuff. There's some things that I will admit I am somewhat jaded when I walk through. And I will look at things and be like, no, and just keep walking. I got told that because apparently somebody came up and asked me if I wanted to look at their product, and I was responding to someone else, and I turned and went, no. And they're like, that was kind of harsh. And I was like, what? But one of those things is like a magnetic scope mount. Not my jam.
Why would that be? I would have to play with something like that.
So I broke a Joe.
No, it sounds dumb. You say it just sounds like the dumbest thing you could. But there's some pretty strong magnets out there. Like I would be curious to see. I would like to play with one of them just to see how well they would hold a zero. Like
I will show you what this is, and you'll understand why I'm like hard pass.
The product that you saw, I'll trust you, but I'm saying like in theory, I'd like to see one of them.
Okay, so this product is $350. And this, no, I'm not going to sign up for your thing. This piece screws to your rail, and this piece snaps down on top of it for magnets. So you can just magnet it on and off.
See, where I could see that being handy is like on a 22, because you're not gonna them are gonna jar them loose. If you want to change things, I'd be interested in playing with one of them. Maybe, I mean, it does sound like a dumb idea.
Well, like when they first came out, I remember the company, and we actually talked to them a couple years ago, and their big thing was they were doing it for like flashlight mounts. So you can pop your flashlight mount on and off, and I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they went, oh, well, we'll do it with a red dot mount too. And I went, cool. I'm not, you don't have me sold on that. And I watched what in the comments? Nope, there isn't a rare earth magnet strong enough that I know of. Yep. So AR Drew's in the comments here. He says the new SCAR was cool. Also the SBS 990. So I did get a chance to shoot the new SCAR. I shot two different variants of it. So I shot the 308 and the 5.56. Adding the hydraulic buffer to it was a net positive. It does have a really smooth recoil impulse, but it was. I still don't know if it's worth the price tag. But it's like, hey, FN, you finally made the SCAR we all wanted to. And before anyone asks, yes, I shot the new Glock.
I bet you loved it.
It is the Glock I hate the least. But as it turns out, it's still a Glock. But they did at least look at a human hand when they designed this one. So it's not as terrible as the rest. But I would rather shoot a 320 or an M&P any day. Yep. Oh yeah, the cat or the I watched what is talking about the KAK Lima 6 1917. Now that was pretty rad. Anybody who doesn't know what they're talking about, so Lima 6 is doing a belt fed upper that is going to be or allegedly going to be more affordable than the Fight Light, and they made a water cooled one that looks like the old 1919 and 1917 machine guns that had the water to it, and it was pretty solid. Like that's neat. I don't know why I love it, but I do. It's because water cooled machine guns are awesome.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of that one and some video of it. That does look pretty.
And everybody is talking about how the 320 would rather shoot me.
Who had the Gatling gun?
So the Gatling
The
gun,
3D printed Gatling gun. It's like $1,500 to put it together. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. So there's a couple of them, and that's why it gets hard, because the guy who had the crank one, and it's let's see. Well, there was because Tipman Arms has made the crank Gatling guns for a long time, to include the like the 22s and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
and that's pretty awesome. And the M1337 is a Gatling gun that you print yourself. So it's actually something for all the 3D printers, and they sell kits that are available, and it's about $1,200 to make one.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one, I was like, ooh, that would get expensive fast because it feeds off a belt fed. So, I mean,
I think you can feed it off an AR mag too.
Could you? But I know it had the ability to run linked ammo, which is cool because it's just more fun, but it gets expensive.
Yep, but no, they do belts, and it says he's designed as an 80 round belt. Hard to crank it quicker than 850 rounds per minute. And the interesting thing about that is not a machine gun.
Yep.
Oh, it is belt only at the moment. But,
okay.
Oh, and I watched what says that he has the STL files. And no, that's awesome. The new 990s from Mossberg, pretty rad. Like I would run one of those, but I don't know that I would buy one over an A300. But that's just because Beretta is best. Yes, we are aware, Dr. Scary Guy. No one will ever tell you how fast you can crank. But no, so we did that. Had a lot of fun. I did mention that somebody got stabbed.
Yeah, I saw that. They tourniqueted it and everything. Like there was a lot of people making a big deal about that, using that as some promo. Do we know why? What was the story?
Allegedly, okay. I have the SHOT Show rumor mill as to why. It was a brother that stabbed his own brother.
Blood Brothers, not like
Yeah. Blood
other
Brothers.
brother.
And yeah, saved by the Novox research guy. And they it was allegedly over a woman.
See, I'm lucky enough that'll never happen with me because me and my brother do not have the same taste in women.
Yeah, allegedly. Two brothers drunk in an argument. That's exactly what it is they're talking in the chat.
Awesome. Like,
yes, but that's a Brick stabbed a guy. I over a chick in the first spot right next to the booth. I never got to hear the firsthand story, says Bob. That is correct. And Bob, again, got packages in today. Awesome. Or a package in today. That is rad. So we will be putting these to good use.
hey, I know where I can get another. I think I know where I can get another XL. It's probably sitting on a porch somewhere.
Now he goes to a P.O. box.
That's no fun. It's gonna hold it hostage.
Those are what you sent me, Bob. They're the mediator twos. No, I did not. Anyways, that's me responding to the chat, not
Yeah, we were promised. Nick was promised something else. It's either Bob was still drinking when he got back, or someone doesn't know what they had.
But that'll work. And I have no doubt that we'll get everything fixed up right. And I will still use them and run the hell out of them. But
yeah.
No, I also got a little bit of infamy because I did go and attend the Gundies to watch that. And I got pulled on to do the red carpet show with State of the Second and the Gun Owners of America. And as I got pulled up, I got asked something, and I want to pause this to make sure that AI picks it up for a clip.
We can make it do it.
So I got asked a question about what it was that came about. Went, hey, what's the biggest issue plaguing the gun world right now? And I said, honestly, I think the biggest problem with the industry and like gun culture is gatekeeping. And when I said that, they went, gatekeeping. I said, yes, gatekeeping is the problem. The problem with gatekeeping is we're looking at people who show up to the range for the first time and they bring if you show up to the range for the first time and you bring a high point instead of a staccato, people will start mocking you. What we need to do is start looking at this for a first-time gun owner is like the 16-year-old kid who gets their first car and shows up like, hey, I got a car, and has a clapped out Ford Ranger and not a brand new Mustang GT. Because they're getting the independence, they're getting the freedom, and they're starting to go through it and learn the responsibility. So they got an entry-level gun to enter in.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, you go to the car world is very good about new people, young kids, like helping them out. There is a lot, and it's not all. There are a lot of good people in the 2A community, but there are a lot that if you don't do exactly what they think is right, are just horrible about it.
Yeah, and we saw it when we went to the Achilles Heel tactical class, and I told that guy, and I was only the finest, and he acted like that high point rifle was going to affect his credit score.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
But
no, there's a lot of that. I mean, the best thing you can do, especially if you want to improve the relations outside the gun community, is when you see those people that are doing something wrong or doing something stupid or just cliche, be like, hey, can I give you a little advice? Or, just start a conversation with them. Like, just ask them questions like, hey, what do you got there? Like, how long you had that? And those people will give you, like, if they have trepidations about something, if they're like, hey, I don't know, my dad had this for X amount of years and I just came out to shoot with it, then you can lead them into, yeah, it's a good gun, or it might be this or that, and then show them what you have, or just give them advice. It's no different than the gun shop guys that are like, oh, it's a girl, she needs a purple or pink gun, or she needs this revolver that she can keep in her purse. Like, no, sell them what they want, and talk to people.
Yeah, it definitely was very interesting, because I told Dave from High Point that I compared High Point to a clapped out Ford Ranger, and like I walked up to the booth and talked to all their people, and I said exactly what I said. They're like, "No, dude, we love it." So, like, that is a great way to phrase it.
Everyone's got to start somewhere. I mean,
but it was,
if you see people doing unsafe stuff, or just straight up bad form, like if you're looking at somebody and you're like, hey, watch this, they're gonna drill they're gonna scope themselves, you're a jerk. Stop them, explain what's going on. It's
also, if you're the guy who thinks it's hilarious to hand his 100-pound girlfriend a 12-gauge shotgun who has never shot a gun before, just to watch it like go bang and knock her over, you're an asshole.
Yeah. Or the guys,
same thing with handing him like a 44 Magnum or something like that. That's ridiculous to shoot for the first time. You're a dick. Yeah, but that's a personal opinion.
No, you're right. The gatekeeping, the clicks, you have to, like, the Glock fans, the SIG fans, if you don't have what I have, you're just wrong, is ridiculous.
I'm a member of a couple like Facebook groups that are just straight up toxic.
You're on Facebook.
Well, I understand that, but these are specifically like Facebook gun groups, and they have like very, very like, oh, you mean you don't have a knight's armament? What are you, stop being poor? Like, it's, like, this is mid-tier gun tubes, and everything has to be like, if you don't fit in with their group, then it's absolute trash. Which is funny because I've watched this and then saw somebody post a double barrel, and somebody jumped in the comment like, "Oh, what's that? Your grandpa's shotgun?" And he was like, "Actually,
Clear off."
No, it was a Perazzi."
Yeah, same thing. It's more expensive than your car. Thank you very much.
That's like, this is a $40,000 Perazzi. It's, yeah. Oh, yeah, go away, boy. But no, those are yeah, and here, Facebook, okay, boomer. Yeah, I am aware. Also did get to talk with the guys from Tundra Tactical quite a bit and work with them, and they're actually trying to work on expanding the Rumble creator family and really push Rumble to everybody. So they were like the Rumble reps for the whole SHOT Show, going around doing content. And that was pretty cool to see, talking to those guys. And then they unfortunately flew back into a riot. Because they unfortunately live near Snowbagdishu.
Yeah,
we're not going to touch that. We're not the show that's going to talk about that, but no. So I did see those things. Henry has a new, like, I know Garth's generally the lever action guy, but Henry has a new performance lever action that's really cool. They're calling it their Predator, and I may have unwittingly wound up in some marketing footage for them, but it was, I mean, it was not a feat to do this at all, but it was like, okay, hey, run this mag through it. And I put 10 rounds out of 10 on a 6-inch plate at 100 yards from a bench. But threaded barrel with a can, carbon fiber barrel, takes AR mags, lever action. It's actually really cool design. I really liked it. I would have no problem using one. They kind of envisioned it as the ultimate predator hunting rifle, which I can see. It's the first lever gun to have an accuracy, like a 1 MOA guarantee, which
That's
is not
cool.
something you generally see with a lever gun. But I'm not talking the accuracy, I'm talking the guarantee. So that was pretty cool. Excuse me. So that was cool. Then we also had, like I said, all the cans. Everybody had a can there.
Speaking of cans, the turnaround is actually pretty decent yet. You had yours back in 2 weeks, and I think mine was a week.
No,
I talked to you right before you left for shot.
Yeah. So I submitted a bunch on the 13th, and we submitted yours on the 16th.
The 16th?
Yep.
Well, yeah, so about 2 weeks, because that came back this morning, you said.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're in the market for them, don't be afraid. Even if you have to wait a month, it's still better than waiting 2 weeks. And I mean, it's no different than waiting 2 weeks and waiting 2 weeks. So,
and I watched what is still sad because he hasn't got any of his Form 1s back. Now, is that just for cans or is that for SBRs as well? We'll wait for him to reply.
While we're waiting on him, let's do our giveaway.
Yeah.
Quick.
So we're giving away a hat.
We're going to give away a hat. We'll make it one of the new hats. We'll reach out to the winner. So what we're going to do is, if I can find my mouse cursor. All right. We are going to present.
Yep. Country Boy Gun says he waited 10 months for his first one. 2 weeks is awesome. It was 18 months for my first one because that was when the first e-file debacle happened.
Okay. I got to bring this down here to do that.
So while Joe's getting that running, AR Drew in the comments says from Rumble says he got 2 Form 1 SBRs back last week, submitted 10 days apart and approved within 2 hours of each other. So I, for lack of a better term, did a batch of Form 4s and submitted like, I don't know, 11 of them. And when I did those, they started to come in and like 5 of them came in just bang, 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 bang all together. And then the remaining 6 rolled through the next 3 days. Like Joe actually put in for his 2 or 3 days later and came in before the last of the other stamps came in for me.
Yeah, so it's going pretty good there. But all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to share this one. All right, so we had 5 people, and we couldn't decide who won. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all 5 of them.
So these are the people who commented on the
Wraithworks photo of Nick. Right.
I will. While you're getting the rest of that going,
so you can see it, right?
Yeah, I could see it. I'd navigate away from the page, but I'm going to.
So what I'm going to do is, because there's 5 people, we're going to put each one of them in 5 times. And then we are going to do a name picker. I don't even know how this works. I didn't test it.
Well,
So there's
I'm
all the
going to-
names 5 times, and we're gonna
I'm going
spin it.
to read the comments.
Okay. And then we will reach out to you on the post. We will tag you in the post if you were the winner to DM us on Facebook. So that way we can get your information. And then it'll be one of the hats that Darth is doing the sale thing on with High Point. So it'll be on its way. It will probably be a little bit yet because I think we're running that until the end of the month.
Yep.
Or
So
the end
we
of
had
February-ish. All right, so here we
Ernie.
go. We're gonna
Ernie posted.
Daniel Herka. So we will be getting in touch with you to figure out kind of hat or what hat colors you want. I don't remember what Garth got for options on that. I think he was doing 2 of them. So we will.
Yeah, they are white logo and orange logo.
Yeah. And the orange logo ones look on black multicam. They actually look pretty sweet.
Yes. And they were the comments were, I mustache you for another Meg, please. You shoot better with a mustache, a mustache, a mustache, big mustache, Nick's mustache, AR-15 podcast mustache. Dooley. Garth replied with, not a cop. Dooley needs to feed that cat some milk. What's that thing on his lip? And I can't unsee this no matter how much I wish I could.
Yep. So there were some pretty good ones there. We figured it was easier to do it randomly. So we will be getting a hold of you, Daniel, if you're watching tonight, or if you, I'm not sure if it was somebody that was watching that night or if it was somebody that listened to us later. So we'll get in touch.
Oh, we also have a late breaking news. So if you are looking to order something from Gideon Optics, use code AR-15 podcast for 10% off and free shipping.
Nice. Heck yeah.
So this will be added. And no, yeah, that is definitely a chick. The lady who won that.
I didn't look at the head, or I didn't look, so I wasn't sure if it was Daniel or Danielle. I was just going with it.
Yeah. I mean, we're not one to assume genders here on the AR-15 podcast.
Yeah.
We're inclusive, even if we're unorganized. Excuse me while I have a sinus problem. What code do we use with Gideon to get Bob's nudes? Is what AR Drew says. And that is a special secret that you can only get after the guided tour. But no, so there was a handful of other things. The new Fight Light belt fed uppers were neat. And those things were solid. Trying to think of anything else that was very. How many hats do I need to buy to be a shoo-in? 17. Yes, getting upstairs. That's actually where the guided tour of MGM property ends. His nudes room. Yes, you will learn things you didn't know you wanted to know. And for somebody who talks a lot about TISMs, I got to ride 2 different trains that day. But I don't have that kind. But no, it's AR Drew says he successfully avoided the guided tour a couple years ago, and that is not true. You just avoided the hot tub party, which is a wonderful time. But I will also, guys, our next major event that we're going to be at all together will be Goals, the GOA convention. So we will all be there.
Unless you guys know of anything else that might be coming up before that, let us know. We're not up to trying other things out.
Yeah. And 8 years in Vegas, that was the first time on either of those trains. And no, it's somehow I found myself like, oh yeah, I've stayed over here, and it's because I'm cheap. And that's why I've stayed away from everything like that.
Did you get him down to Fremont?
No, we didn't get to Fremont. We had talked about going down to Fremont for the people watching, but
That's awesome.
instead we went to he'd never been to the Luxor, and so we went to the old Luxor, and then through the tunnels to the Mandalay Bay, and rode the tram from Mandalay Bay to the Excalibur, where we then took the walking bridges through New York, and finally MGM. Which each one of those hotels is a very interesting microcosm of people.
Yeah, there's certain people at that stay at certain hotels in that town, and it's
apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely different crowds at different hotels. But no, it was a blast. I had a great time with it, and we had some drinks. The Bob might be the luckiest man I've ever met. He started playing. We went down into the arcade game portion of the Excalibur.
Yeah.
And you know those, like, you drop the quarter in machines and it like slides the stuff out to give you tickets or whatever. Have you ever seen one go tilt because somebody won too much?
I have not.
Yeah, that happened. 100%, like, it just shut down because it was winning too much. It was rather amazing. Yeah. No idea that MGM was like the nightclub spot. Dozens of 20-something-year-olds getting in and out of Ubers dressed to the nines. Yeah, that's where, like, is it Hakkasan or something like that? Is like the hot happening nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he still has his card from the fun dungeon, which has a different meaning at the AVNs than it does at. But we did not go to any Gun Bunny after shows, although I heard that there was a Gun Bunny convention of sorts. And I was kind of disappointed with some of the names that I saw there with some of the things that I heard about transpiring. But I'm not here to talk about those things. But no, it was a great time. We saw a lot of cool stuff, made some really cool contacts, and we still got money on there for next year. Yes. But we will definitely be talking about it more. We have some new stuff coming up. I know that we have some more people coming on the show soon that will be interesting things are coming out because it's I got a card for, I think, Tactical Vicky's hot tub party. I did not go either. Just kidding. But going through this stuff, we'll have a lot more content coming out soon, guys. Interesting products, some neat stuff that'll be there. Ace Tech Gear was there. I'm excited to have them come on the show. They have an incredible deal on a night vision pouch with a Faraday bag for your night vision, and it's under $60.
I'm still a poor and I don't have night vision yet, so.
Well, I am a poor and I has night vision, but I'm like, Faraday bag makes sense. Like, hey, if there is an EMP, the one thing I would really like to work would probably be my nods.
Yeah.
Although I should do some testing and find out if a gun safe would actually work like a Faraday cage.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as you said that. I'm like, I wonder if it's in the safe, if it's what's how do you test it?
Oh, I know how we test it. Oh, Klecker says, by the way, I'm an Ace Tech dealer too, so if you need anything. Yeah. So talk to those guys. They're going to be coming on the show for too long. I'm going to say this. The Poverty Pony might be riding again, but under a new brand. And that's kind of interesting. So in the business, we call that foreshadowing. But it's definitely cool. And no, there's a lot of neat stuff, a lot of cool things that have happened. And for what all in all seemed to be kind of an underwhelming year for SHOT, there was still a lot of really cool things that came out. Exactly. He got it. And we'll be talking to them. But guys, I can't say enough how much we appreciate you guys listening to us each week. I know this show is a little bit off the rails as we tried to look stuff up and talk about things. Everybody had cans. Everybody had stuff out there. I might actually order a couple of the High Point cans just to see how they work. Reminder to send us an email about getting a hat on order so we can put you in. I think March 5th is when we're going to draw for that hat or draw for the gun, because within the process of that, well, we may have another entry method or two on the way. So make sure that you're tuning in and listening. But we will be pushing through with that, and you'll be getting a fully equipped AR. So it will have dot, light, and sling. And I bet I can even scrounge around a couple megs to throw in there for you. They might be used. I'm not going to guarantee the springs, but
it'd be worth it. Get yourself a hat, show your pride, wear it with pride, and then send us a video of yourself, the winter mag dumping into a washing machine or something.
Yeah, mag dump into trash like you are required.
Mag dump that thing into a water heater.
Yeah. Preferably still in your house. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That would be a terrible idea. But Joe, you got anything else to add tonight before we start to sign off?
Nah, same as usual. Go check out our online presence, AR-15podcast.com, AR-15 AR-15 podcast 2.0 on Instagram, AR-15 podcast on Rumble, YouTube. Like our stuff, share our stuff. Definitely the shares and the comments get us a lot further than anything else. So, and the same with the other guys. You know, we've got our sponsors, Klecker and Gideon and VZ Grips. Those guys, give them a shout, give them a look. So,
and of course, check out our newest affiliate. Go ahead, guys, and reach out to Gideon. Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. Waiting on you.
I got
my stuff out of the way.
Oh, I have Copilot popping up here.
And we know what you're going to say, so.
Well, no, not yet. I was going to say, go check out Gideon, talk to them, and, use our discount code for 10% off and free shipping, which is pretty rad. And also go check out Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co. You can get cool things like this. You want pop culture patches, the Patch of the Month Club, join the Patch of the Month Club, and you can get cool patches like this guy. This is a couple months old, but this is Summer Vibes. And I did get a whole pile of patches from SHOT Show, a couple different series from Gideon. And my favorite may have been the dog patches from Gideon. But that's because I like dogs. Dogs are good people. I pretty much like all dogs more than most people.
Yeah.
And they had their GTA patches and their Simpson patches. But we have that going on. Guys, now's the part where you all know what I'm about to say. We saw it at the show. Go out, get training, get medical training. You never know what's about to happen. You are your own first responder and expect to self-rescue. We live in a dynamic environment that is ever changing, and you don't know what's about to happen. So guys, go out, get training, get medical training. Remember that you are your own first responder and no one is coming to save you. And most importantly, you folks out there, stay safe and stay armed.